and like after winning is the best feeling for me, because like when my students are winning, it's like the feeling of it, like it's just much better when you are winning, to be honest. You know, when your students are winning, it's like it's different, brother. And when your students are competing as well, it's also like much more stress for me, you know. Like even though I'm gonna compete at the World Championship, when my students are competing at the local or small international tournaments, I have much more like stress, you know, just because like I want them to win so much, like I support them, and it's for me as a coach, as a sensei, it's much more stressful. But after that, it's just feels
The reward's better.
also reward is like, to be honest, like better, because you being as a coach, you have a two ways. There is not all like something in the middle. You either focus on coaching or onto competing yourself. It's a very, very rarely when somebody is a great coach and a great competitor.
Hello and welcome. Today I'm here with DR. So DR is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach,
Yep, that's
and this will be a fun one because I basically don't know you at all.
Yeah.
We met only a couple of times. However, one of very few our conversations was very interesting.
Yeah.
And I find you are like a life hacker. Yeah, with
like
your
that.
like you just cracked the code, and whatever you put your mind into,
Yeah.
it's just coming to your life.
Yeah, I'm on my way. I'm on my way to crack the system, but
Okay.
like it's already some things that I really wanted to happen in my life already happening right now. So like even like that I'm here right now in Dubai, and that I'm living here, that I'm working here, that I know a lot of interesting people, like from different fields.
You met
Yeah,
supposedly randomly, but it wasn't random, right?
Yeah.
You met so many celebrities and
yeah, so many athletes, so many like influential people, and this is I always used to dream when I was a kid, to always be surrounded by this bright people, like who achieved a lot, where like to be surrounded by interesting people. So I always wanted to basically be surrounded by successful people, and yeah, to be successful in future as well.
well, it's
Because your surrounding is shapes your future. So yeah,
so it's fair to say that you are on the way.
I'm on the way. Yeah.
So we'll get to the how to crack the system and your cheat codes later. First of all, just give me your background on your athletic background.
Yeah.
What sports you did when you were a child, how you got to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and basically your summarized life story.
Yeah. So my name is DR again. I was born in Almaty in Kazakhstan, which is the second capital of Kazakhstan. And when I was 3 years old, my parents moved to Astana, to the capital city of Kazakhstan. And so I was living there for most of my life before I moved here to Dubai. So I started my jiu-jitsu journey when I was around 11, 12 years old. And when I was a kid, I felt that I was a small kid, that I was not strong enough. And I really wanted to become a bit stronger, a bit bigger, like a bit confident in myself. So I was planning when I was like 11, 12 years old to start judo. But my uncle at the time, like he was about to open first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Kazakhstan. So instead of judo, like I was thinking like at the time, like I will wait a bit of my uncle and I will start my sport journey a bit later on when he gonna open an academy. So as soon as he opened an academy in Kazakhstan, he opened at the time Roger Gracie Academy, Kazakhstan. So as soon as he opened, I started my journey there and I trained with him.
For a little bit of context, how did he come to open it? Like, was he doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu somewhere
that's an
abroad?
interesting thing as well. Like he used to do judo since he was a kid, and when he was a kid, he used to watch a UFC. And the first UFC events was influenced by Gracie family, right?
Yep.
They
The number first, second, and four were won.
yeah.
By, who was that guy?
I don't remember the name, but
Was it Royce?
I think Royce Gracie.
Royce Gracie, might be. But I'm not sure about that.
I don't want to say wrong information.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But there was definitely UFC number 1, 2, and 4 were won by dominantly a member of the Gracie family.
Member of the Gracie family. Yeah, that's correct. So, and I think after these events, they still competed and they showed the mastery of jiu-jitsu. So he used to do judo, and he was watching a lot of UFC, and he saw how Gracies are winning there, and he really liked it, and he was very curious about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And as I remember, when he used to do judo, he used to love wrestle on the ground. So he used to do some submissions. He used to bring somebody on the ground and do something on parterre, on the ground. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they used to call him a king of the parterre.
Yeah,
so,
ground game.
King of the ground game. Yeah. So he loved it, and then through some time, he organized first a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu seminar in Kazakhstan in 2008 with Roger Gracie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so, it was a big event in Kazakhstan because it's the first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu seminar ever, and with such a big name, like a legend, Roger Gracie. So he organized the seminar, and then after that seminar, he had plans to open an academy. So slowly he was developing it and then open it, and his dream, his goal was to start influence people about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Kazakhstan, to develop it. And
so he was like the main figure bringing it there.
Yeah, he is. Wow. He's the first black belt in Kazakhstan.
And was he training somewhere, or how was he?
He used to travel a lot. He used to travel to Brazil. He used to travel to London, to UK.
So the Roger Gracie, who went to run the seminar and whose name was on the academy your uncle opened, is the same Roger Gracie who had the academy in London?
Yeah.
So that's the same who was coach of Coach Rogerio.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
How it's all connected, right?
Yeah. But it's the Roger Gracie, one of the legends, one of the greatest, I believe. Yeah. And So what we were talking about, I forgot.
Well, he opened eventually opened the academy.
He opened an academy. He started to make a lot of champions, and right now he's first black belt in Kazakhstan. And because of him, because I thought why would I go somewhere else and train judo when I can train with my uncle and learn from him rather from other person. So this is how I started my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu journey.
And you had some previous sport experience, you did soccer or something?
No. My uncle used to coach me at home. Used to teach me some boxing, some kicks, some throws. Always at home, he loved to show me something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was always around combative sports? For your childhood, you were always around the combative sports.
Yeah. I had a strong goal to really become stronger, to even have a stronger character. To have a discipline, because I felt by myself deeply inside that I was not strong enough, I wanted to have a strong pivot in me, a character, and Jiu-Jitsu really helped me to achieve that. Either it's on the mats, on outside of the mats right now, I feel a strong pivot in me that I can achieve something, that I can do that I can pass through the difficulties. Like, so jiu-jitsu doesn't help only on the mats, but in life in general, in all the situations. So, yeah.
Was this shift in your attitude not only on the mat but also on the
Yeah, it's my
oh, that's
it's my device. Yeah.
no worries. So was this shift in your approach and this, like you're saying, the strong pivot towards success and building stronger character, was it something that you can actually pinpoint to a certain events, or you just like slowly developed by coming to the gym and the consistency of it?
Yeah, I think that it's definitely coming slowly to you. Like, I had a lot of periods because my uncle is a very tough, very rough person. Like, in a good way, you know. He knows how to create from just a small boy, like how to turn a small boy into a champion with a character. So me being his nephew, he used to be much harder with me than with the other people.
Yeah.
Because people always gonna judge by the one who is close to you, right? And especially in martial arts. And I had a lot of responsibility back in the day being his nephew, and like, you know, and because
pressure,
I had a lot of pressure. I had a lot of pressure, and he was younger at the time, and he was like just much more harder, like, you know. And
so he kind of developed to a little bit softer version over time, you would say?
I mean, with the time, like, he's always learning. He's always reading, watching different podcasts. Like, he's always improving, right? As a coach, as a person, and some methods that he used to have before, like, he's not using it right now.
Okay.
So I was like kind of one of the first who he was like testing the methods. Yeah, but why I'm saying this, because he was very tough on me since I was his nephew, yeah, and I had a lot of times when I just wanted to stop doing jiu-jitsu because of that pressure, you know. The methods he used to coach me, like, was very like tough, so like it was a lot of pressure, and I just wanted to like
Can you give
up.
some example of that?
Yeah, you know, for example, the trainings was very hard, yeah. And I sometimes, like, as a kid, I was like complaining a bit, or like saying like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do this, you know, like. And he was like being very, very hard on me. Like, he could tell some things in front of the people. He can like wrestle with me much harder, and that he was like putting knee on belly on me, and I was tapping out, and he was like not removing it, and I was screaming already. I was like crying almost, and he said like what? Let's go fight, you know, like, you have to fight, you have to like.
So the pressure wasn't
this.
So the pressure was actually physical as well.
It was physical, it was mental, like, you know. But I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm just so grateful for him. Because like, I have such a strong pivot, and like, maybe it's not good to say, but like, I know that I can like go through a pressure, like, and from some difficult times when other will fail. But I mean, I don't want to like show off about this or whatever. Yeah,
of course, yeah.
I just feel that I can pass through this, you know. And
well, the resilience was built.
Yeah, resilience was built because of him. And it was like quite for a long time, because he saw that I was like a bit weak kid, you know, like a small kid. And his intentions, like, he wanted me to become stronger. So the only way, I think, to build a character as a man, is to go through really like a hard environment, you know, like hard times. Like, it's like the hard times create a weak man, and
hard times create strong men.
Oh, sorry,
Strong men create.
Yeah.
Easy times.
Yeah, hard time creates a strong man.
Weak times create a weak man.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, strong times.
Yeah.
Okay, we're messing this up.
Sorry,
No, but
my English,
yeah.
sometimes it happens. It's like
That's
I just wanted to finish this sentence.
Okay, let's put it
It's
together.
like easy times
Create soft man.
Soft man.
And soft men create hard times, and hard
Yeah,
times
yeah,
create hard men.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So
So I was passing through this like environment and like the way he was like, can I say behaving me? Like how to say, like you have to behave, kids.
raising you.
Raising, yeah.
Raising,
The way he was raising me was very hard, and it was like for a long period of time. And because of this,
And how was your father's role in all this? What was your father's role?
yeah, my parents got divorced. So when I was like 3 years old, and he's always in touch with me. We're having a great relationship with him, especially right now when I'm becoming older. I like reaching him out much more often, and he's with me. But he's more about like business, about like work. You know, he's in a bit different direction. He's not into sports that much.
Okay.
But he was there, but he was not influencing me about the sport.
In
So
this
my
sort, okay.
uncle and my grandfather was influencing me in a sport.
So was this uncle of yours your mom's brother?
Yep.
Oh, right.
Younger
Okay, so
brother.
he kind of took over that
That role.
yeah, that role.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
get it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Because you stayed live with mom,
yeah, I was staying with my
and
mom. My
uncle was like,
yeah,
let's bring him in.
Back in the days, he used to live with us, and then
Okay,
when
okay.
he get married, when he got married, he had his own place. But like, yeah, he was always with me, and yeah, he used to raise me. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
yep.
Okay, and how you got into coaching?
Yeah, so again, like because of my uncle, like I started when I was like 11, 12 years old. I was doing like it for about 4 years. And then when I was 16 years old, during the summer, my uncle just said for me, do you want to coach? Like, I want you to coach since you're having a weekends, summer, like holidays. And I said, let's do it. I really like this idea. And I started coaching kids classes at his academy. And I was coaching one-on-one some adults. Yep. So this is how I came to the coaching. I was like coaching like from 16, 17, like 18 years old, back to back when I had time. So, and then I started my studies here in Dubai. Like I decided to come here to study in the Canadian University of Dubai. And then I moved to Switzerland to study there. Yeah, and we'll talk about this as well. Yeah. When I was studying, and then when I came back to Kazakhstan after I graduated from the university, I was focusing on my studies and my work. But when I came back to Kazakhstan and I was working for some other projects, I was coaching as well. I had the time to coach as well. So I came to Kazakhstan. I was working for some like big serious projects. Yeah. Like,
And so, what was your studies about? Like, what did you study?
It was international business.
Okay.
I was studying in a small business school in Switzerland.
And also,
Private business school.
And also, you were working in the field once you came back to Kazakhstan.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it wasn't related to jiu-jitsu.
It
or
wasn't
anything.
related. I was not planning to coach in general. I just yeah, like I was
Like a side quest. Yeah.
yeah. Like I was not planning to coach at all. I was not even thinking to compete much in future. I was like planning to work in more like connected to my university degree, to go to business. And I was when I came back to Kazakhstan, I was attracting big investments to Kazakhstan through PPP program, which is like public-private partnership.
Okay.
Yep. So I had the plans to attract investment to the track and field holes around all the Kazakhstan in all the 15 regions of Kazakhstan. And I had another project, a hyper Gipper plant on the river in Almaty, with a power of 240 kilowatts, I think.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I was like,
not like I know what it means.
yeah,
just sounds important.
yes, yeah, it's big. It was big project, and I was trying to attract investment, like $500 million. I was in talks with Commercial Bank of Qatar for a long period of time, with some Singapore institutions.
And who you were working for? What was this kind of was it for government or who you were working for?
When I was planning to attract investment to the construction of track and field holes, it was for my dad's company, because he's in the construction business.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I tried to work with my dad, and then it was around also I was trying to attract around $300 million to these projects, but it's it's a bit hard because it's PPP program, so the government is involved and a bit bureaucracy, and there is some stuff that I'm not in what it's called not in a control of. So I didn't like it much, because even to sign one paper or one document took me a long time, and I was dependent on another person's opinion, but I think it was.
So the outcome was whatever, and it wasn't in your hands. However hard you tried.
Yeah, however hard I tried, however I want to talk with them and whatever, it was always some other things that they. It was just hard. It was just hard to work with them, So it didn't work out for me. And then my dad proposed me to work for another project which was his friends. So I was trying to attract investment to that project, to the Gipper plant on the Almaty River, and it didn't work out as well again, because it was a bigger project, which is $500 million, and it was a very prospective project, but again it's all bureaucracy, and in Kazakhstan it's a bit hard, to do all of that, and I was alone, and I just at some point I just I had an ambitious goals, obviously, when I came back from Switzerland, when I graduated from there, and it didn't work out, and 2 years I barely had money, and I was very young at the time, and I wanted to achieve something. So I said maybe I should come to Dubai and start doing something by my own, start coaching people, and I can earn a good money for me here, because Dubai gives a good opportunity if you work hard, definitely. So I just left all these projects. I said I will not do it anymore, and I had a decision to come here, and I started my journey here to coach people. So at the time I was already a brown belt. I had some skills, I had some coaching experience, I really loved it. So I was working also with the Kazakhstan Jiu-Jitsu Association at the time. I was bringing some Brazilians to coach in some teams. Nice. I was helping to organize a Grand Prix.
Did your uncle found it, the Kazakhstan Jiu-Jitsu Association?
No.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
Yeah. No. He was not the president of Jiu-Jitsu Kazakhstan Association, but he used to work with them as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I used to help Jiu-Jitsu Federation at the time. I used to referee international tournaments. I became a referee at the time. Cool. By the time I was working in this serious projects, I was also doing my jiu-jitsu stuff, because so I was refereeing, I was helping association, and I was coaching, and I was training as well.
So when you were in Dubai, in Switzerland, you still kept training?
Yeah, I trained I trained in Switzerland as well, in Lausanne. There's one great coach, a big friend of mine. He's a Swiss dad for me. I call him a Swiss dad because he knew that I came for my studies, and he was taking care about me a lot. Like he used to bring me from Lausanne to my town when I used to live. Like it's a small distance between cities in Switzerland. Yeah, it's like 20 minutes. Yeah, but he tried to bring me home always when he had time. We used to go to nice places to eat. He knew that I had a tight budget, so he used to be there behind my back on the competitions. He's like my family, So I used to train there with him. His name is Wendell Cardoso. Hi, Wendell. Yeah, love you. So yeah, he used to help me a lot, and yeah, I trained there in Switzerland when I was studying.
So you never really, you kept training regardless of where you were, what you were doing.
I always used to do jiu-jitsu, and I always had a goal to get some medals to be a black belt. So I already did a long road. It's been a long journey, and why I would just give up on this. I had a strong goal to achieve accomplishments.
Yeah, I'm not asking because I didn't assume that you quit. I just thought that because of studies and whatever can happen, busy schedule or something. But I mean, if you really want to, you always find a way, right?
Yeah. It's just like jiu-jitsu is like this kind of sport when you start and you can't stop. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So, okay, when you came to Dubai, was it you were kind of like, let's say, established in the community, right? You were judging the international. It wasn't like you were starting from the scratch, but still, it was a new city, new environment. Was it easy to because I assume you didn't just come, knocked on a gym's door, and it's like, hey guys, I want to coach here, right?
Yeah, it was not like that. It's interesting as well. Like when I was a kid, I came a couple times to Dubai before, and I really liked it. I really loved it, and that's a long story, yeah. But still, I'll tell you.
Well, that's why we are here. So
yeah. So I really like Dubai, and I really wanted to live here one day. And I had a choice before starting my studies. I was thinking where to go, like Europe, US, or UAE. And then I was raised by my grandfather as well. I was really close to my grandfather, and he used to work in the government before, and he used to have a charity foundation here. So he's a big role for me. And we was thinking like where to go, to Europe, to US, and he didn't really like the idea of going to Europe or US. He said like, I believe that it's better to go to UAE. As well, like when I was studying in school, and one of the times I wanted to be an actor and go to New York Film Academy, and my dad supported this idea.
Okay.
And he said like, I will make everything you study there, and I support your idea. He really liked it, so he supported me with this idea. But my grandfather said like, he's a bit how to say, like orthodox, like
old
school.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was like asking
conservative.
me, yeah, very conservative. Yeah, and he said for me, are you going to play in a theater, like just to be an actor? Like he didn't understand that, and I even didn't like go into that conversation with him. Like as soon as he said it for me, I like even didn't complain, nothing, like because his word was like a law for me. Like, so I like, what you gonna say for me? How you like gonna guide me? Like it's gonna be like this, So
respected.
Yeah.
His opinion.
Yeah, a lot, and I even didn't like. It was like kind of my dream, but I was not. I was not sad about that. That he didn't support that idea. Like he was so influential in my life. He was a best friend for me. So like, I knew that he's saying something like wise. So like, I was like, okay, like I'll just go to business and stuff.
Maybe even you couldn't see it yourself, but you knew if he's saying it, it's worth listening. Yeah.
Yeah, again, I didn't
like
get it.
even you didn't really felt that way
Yeah,
what
yeah,
he
yeah.
was saying,
Yeah.
but it was so influential that
Yeah,
his opinion was so strong that you were like, okay, even I don't agree,
Yeah.
I respect it, and it's done.
exactly. It was like this. So, yeah. And then we were thinking where to go. And then I said, like, I love Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. It's very influential here. It's a lot of gyms here. It was in 2014, 15. I was deciding. It's always summer. It's
Yeah.
I love more heat than the cold. So like, and it's this city was like developing really quick back in, like it's always developing quick, and it's the fastest growing city in the world. But I saw that one that before as well. So I was like, this city, this country has a huge potential. So I think, and it's safe as well. And I want my family to live here as well. I don't want to be worried about my mom, my daughters in future, my wife. So why not to live there, to meet new people already, and to move there. So combining all of that points, I made the decision to come here, and my parents, my grandfather, my grandmother, everyone supported this idea. And yeah, and this is how I came here.
And that was when you came here to study.
Like I moved here to study.
To study, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you were coming here to coach, that was just basically like coming back home? Because you moved here to study, but then you went to Switzerland.
Yeah.
Then you went back home to Kazakhstan,
Yeah.
and then you came back again,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So when you came back second time
Okay.
to live here,
Yeah.
yeah, that was how long ago? Couple of years.
A couple of years ago.
Couple of
Exactly. A couple
yeah.
of years ago.
So what was that like coming back here and already looking for a job? Not to
I answered wrong. Yeah. Like
no, that's fine. Well, you came here first.
Yeah.
There's no wrong answer. It's just moving on the timeline.
I mean, I didn't get a question. I think
That's fine. Moving on the timeline.
Yeah.
When you came here to work already, the second time you came here, how was it? Like you already knew people here? You had some contacts?
I just, I was in my mind, and I was about to say that.
Okay.
So yeah. So I really liked it, and that's like I liked it, and then the family decision was towards like UE as well. So like I was studying here, right, and I already met a lot of people while I was studying. So I'm the way it's easy for me to communicate with other people, and I like to meet different people, and it was easy for me to build the connections, to like make new friends, and I already knew a lot of people here. I had my best friend here.
How long have you been studying here? For how many
like
years?
1 year.
1 year.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 1 year. And then my grandfather passed away when he was 66 years old. And then I moved to Kazakhstan, and I had to stay there for some time. So, and then at that time, I was like, after we lost my grandfather, I had the decision to make to Switzerland. So I was here for 1 year, and and before I was traveling here often with my mother. So I was already like, I knew Dubai already, and it was easy for me to come here because I already knew the city, the people, and I believed that it would be easier for me to move here rather than another country. So when I came here, my friends helped me a lot, especially my best friend Timur and his family. Like I used to stay for some time at his house. His mother used to take care of me, and then slowly, just by word of mouth, I started coaching, finding a new clients, and I started working here. But in general, because I used to live here before and I knew the city and knew people, like it helped me a lot, and it was kind of easy moving here.
And
Also, an interesting fact that I want to tell is that for some time that I used to live in Kazakhstan, my work didn't go good, and I barely had money in my pocket, but working for ambitious projects. And at some point, I was giving up, like not giving up, but like I had a not good mood and all of this, and I was like kind of lost. And I decided to fast, like in Islam we fast like during Ramadan. So I never used to fast before, but on a second year after I traveled after I came back from my studies, I decided to fast because I was trying to find an answer. So I decided to fast, and at that time, my good friend of mine, Berke, he said for me, like, if you want to find an answer after you open your fast at the evening on iftar, just before you start drinking water, pray, and this is the straight way, like it's the time when Allah will hear you, and whenever whatever dreams you have, like he'll try to help you to achieve them and to make it happen. So I had a strong goal to fast for like a month and like not skipping a single day. And I was not expecting something. I was just genuinely, like from the bottom of my heart, praying before I was opening my fast. And I was like not expecting, but I was praying like with the good intentions. Yeah, I wanted to move here, and that's so crazy because like 4 days before Ramadan finished, I was already here. I moved here. I had money in my pocket. My dad blessed me with this idea. Yeah, he and my family also like this idea, so I moved here. So it's so crazy because like I just started my fast. I was not skipping any day. I had a poor intentions, and 4 days before Ramadan finished, I was already here. I had some job offers, and I had money in my pocket, and dream come true so quick. So because of Islam,
within 26 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember how long was Ramadan. Yeah,
no,
but
I just it was approximate assumption.
Yeah. But
okay, so but it was fasting like through the Ramadan. It wasn't like any random time of the year that you just decided to do the fasting. It was like the Ramadan fasting.
Yeah, it was Ramadan fasting.
The Ramadan fasting.
Since I was born as a Muslim, I'm a Muslim. Yeah, so
and I assume that you do it ever since.
Yeah, every year. Yeah, obviously. And then I also I'm not praying 5 times a day for now, but like when I have time, I do that one. And since I started fast, my life changed completely. And when I started praying as well, my life was just all like the opportunities were coming to me, like to achieve something. It was easier, like, so my life changed completely when I become closer to religion.
And what in that time of that fasting, when you were praying for a change and for better opportunities and basically to flip your life around, what changed in a meaning? Like what kind of opportunities came?
Like, for example, I have my Instagram, like there is like 600 followers, and like I never used to have some marketing or advertisement. Like the clients always used to come to me, and it was always very like influential and like big people, like the clients. Like it was just word of mouth, like, and this like, and then I was invited by my friend Salim to coach at his gym at Matador Academy. So and then recently I was invited to a good friend of mine, Mohammed, and Coach Tabet from Entropy to coach at the prestige British school in Dubai, RGS school. like so the work opportunities were coming to me always through the time I was like started praying, you know. So like I believe it's only from Allah, from God, because like since I started fasting, my life changed. And then when I'm not praying 5 times a day, but like when I have time, I do that. I try my best to pray as often as I can. So when I started praying as well, much more opportunities were coming to me, and you feel that when that comes. Like it was not coming for me before like that, you know. But when I became closer to religion, it's all changed.
And what that time when you were at home, and you said 4 days before the end of the Ramadan, you were already in Dubai. What happened there? How you got here?
You know, because I used to work for this like big projects, yeah.
Yep.
And then my dad was like, you know, because I respect my dad's opinion a lot, and like I want some, like if I'm making some decisions, I want my parents to approve that, you know. Like I respect my parents' opinion a lot, and I want when parents bless your intentions, like when parents bless what you want, it's you achieve this much easier, and it's a very right way, I believe. So for me, it was very important to my dad to accept this idea to move here, and he was not that, like he didn't like this idea much before. So when I was like fasting, my dad like just by magic, he like supported this idea.
So he changed his opinion.
He changed his opinion, and then he said like, yeah, like just go for it.
It's time.
It's time, yeah. It's time. And then like I was working at the time, and then I made some money to come here as well. So because I didn't had much money at that time in Kazakhstan, and I managed to earn something to come here as well. So it was like my parents' opinion. It was earning money to be able to come here, and to find an opportunity to work here as well.
Okay, so all clicked.
All click at once.
Approval from the parents, means, financial means to come, and the opportunity to work here.
Opportunity to work.
Cool.
Yeah, and then it's just like.
And have you been working? I know that you do some work as a freelancer, kind of.
Yeah.
For some academies around, but you've been ever based in some gym like a coach? That this is the gym where I'm coaching,
and that's it. Yeah.
And that's it.
No.
Okay.
I don't know. I had this fixed idea in my head always, like that I want to be like independent, and I want to work on my own. Always, like since I was a kid, and when I just came here, I found like clients actually came to me, like by referrals, and some people started to coming to me, and then my friends, the owners of academy, they invited me to work there as well. So what it's called? What I was doing? Yeah, so it was like this, you know, like I was not based in one academy. I was working part-time in some academies, and I had my one-on-one clients.
Yeah, and you you have some adult trainees, but you specialize on kids, right?
Yeah. I love kids a lot, and I love working with them. I know how to talk with them since I have had an experience working with kids in my uncle's academy. So I knew that there is not much kids coach specialized kids in Dubai, and I love working with them. So when I was coming here, I had an idea to work with kids, especially like I was reading a lot of articles from WHO, and like I was reading about kids' health in UAE, and kids has like 3 main problems, which is like heart diseases, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes type 2, and then obesity and overweight. So looking at all of these problems, I strongly believe that I can help kids to become healthier and stronger mentally and physically through Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and kids' strength and conditioning programs. So yeah, that was the idea when I came here, to help kids to become healthier and mentally stronger through Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Nice. Well, yeah, like all that three aspects, right? Cardiovascular, obesity, and diabetes too. Like it's habitual.
Yeah,
It's not something you catch on the street.
yeah,
That's something that is by the determined by the lifestyle.
yeah.
Pretty
determined by
much.
the
So
lifestyle. Yeah, and of course, I love coaching adults as well, and I have my adults students, but I'm specialized in kids. Yeah.
what's the difference between coaching kids and coaching adults?
That's completely two different worlds, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the methods you use for kids is different than the methods.
And you don't really care about the age, right? Like you
No,
coach
I
from
coach from
the
3 years
youngest
old.
to from 3 years old.
From 2 years old.
Nice.
Yeah. In Kazakhstan, I used to coach kids from 2 years old. So, like, for example, first of all, you need to be very patient, yeah, with the kids, because kids will not do stuff from one time. They will do it like not even like from rep number 10 or 20. They will do it like through some time correctly. So you have to be really have a lot of patience. And that's one of the things. The second thing, you have to speak with them, like you have to give them an examples, like for example how to move. So you have to give them an examples, like for example, like you move like this, like how you give an example of how animal move,
Yeah.
and you tell them like look, do for example like as a dog doing there or doing that, or
Like a storytelling.
yeah,
Like,
storytelling. Yeah. Okay.
Actually, storytelling really, really works for adults as well.
Oh really?
Yeah. I remember one, like I use it
Yeah.
quite often, especially when I want or need somebody to push intensity.
Yeah.
You know, and they are reluctant or they are afraid of or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember one example. I have one client. She loves animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted her to throw a slam ball or like some medicine ball, but fairly heavy, over a bar. Yeah, that was the objective.
Yeah.
And I knew she wants to do it, and she was like almost getting it many times, but she just wasn't aggressive enough about it. And I knew she's strong enough and everything. It was just the attitude, like, oh, it didn't work out again, and she was getting frustrated. So the storytelling that time, it was beginning of 2020. If you remember, there was some big fires in Australia.
Yeah.
I told her, imagine there is a fire behind your ass and you're saving this puppy. You need to throw it over the fence, you know? Suddenly it
save her
worked,
life.
you know? Yeah. And suddenly it works, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, or people pushing on the sled, like you want to reach intensity. Imagine your whole family is there and there's some predator chasing you, you
Yeah.
know? Like, so it works as well.
Yeah, it works. You have to be really creative. Like sometimes you just like try to find a story like during the like coaching them, you know.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. You have to like be a bit more creative with kids, and also kids they. One second.
So less technicality and more creativity, yeah?
It's technicality with the creativity. I
Okay,
believe,
okay.
because also the techniques you use for kids is different from adults. Like you have to make you have to adapt the techniques for kids, and to make it more easier to understand, and at the same time very efficient. Like the techniques that they really can do on the competitions. So you have to adjust techniques for kids. So that's another point as well. And there is another thing, like kid has to feel that you really want to be there, that you love coaching kids. The kid also need to feel that he is safe with his coach, and he needs to feel that coach really wants to be there, you know. So kids always feel like if the coach wants to be there or not. So if he sees that the coach really wants to coach, to be there, to coach, to make a kid a champion, the result gonna be like different. It's gonna be much better because the kid feels that like coach is interested.
So they feed on your energy as well, yeah?
Yeah. So it's very important to have a very to be very energized, to tell them your interest in their success, in their achievements. So yeah, and kids very sensitive. Yeah, so you have to be very, very careful and show them your interest, so they can achieve something. Yeah.
Cool. When you coach kids or even adults one-on-one, like it happened to me before that I came to a class and I was the only one there, so it kind of became a private class. Okay, but overall, how does it work with their development, and especially kids, because you are not a sparring partner for them. You're not like matching their strength, matching, and the size can be, like you're coaching a 5, 7, even 10-year-old. You're twice their weight, double the height, right? Like, how does it work? How do you run the class when you're there one-on-one with them and there is no sparring partner for them, only you, and like how they can develop outside of a class environment? Like what is the specificity of it?
Like me, for example, I focus a lot on the technical part with kids. We are doing a lot of drills and we are doing a lot of techniques during the class. As well, I'm focusing with kids on the physical qualities with them, which is like speed, strength, mobility, flexibility, and all of that. So my job is to give my knowledge to a kid. Yeah, so we drill a lot. Sometimes when a kid doing something for me, I help a bit, right? I move my body also. Like I'm trying to be less heavier.
I get it. Yeah. That you're not just being mean and just making it hard for them.
Of course. Like I'm trying to adapt for the body size of the kid. Yeah. So that's the one thing. So I adapt. I help with the movement sometimes, but I'm giving them the concept and the idea of the movement, so they have to understand what to do in a position. I turn, I put my arm or my leg there, so I give them the understanding of the technique. So I'm focusing on a technique with them, and then after we go to kids group classes. So I'm looking, can they implement that? What is the mistakes of implementing that? And then adjusting it during our one-on-one sessions.
Okay, so you eventually bring them to that environment so they test themselves there as well.
Yeah, of course, because doesn't matter how much they will train with me, how much they will roll with me. It's different than rolling with other kids. Well,
that's what I meant. That if that was my next question, but you basically answered it right now. Like, how could a kid you train in privates go to a competition competing against the other kid? Well, they have to try it before.
They have to. There is no other way. They have to roll with other kids because they have to feel this competitiveness. When they roll with me, they feel safe. They know that even like subconsciously, they understand that I'm not going to push my maximum. I'm not going to smash them.
Like your ankle did to you.
What my ankle did on me. Yeah, it's a different story, but
those for different reasons.
For different reasons, yeah, definitely. But like I train with them, and we go together to the trainings, and then I tell them what to do. We set a game plan, which techniques to implement, when to do that, good timing as well. So like I tell them everything, and then I look at their fights in the academies. We go to different academies, and then
Also, you go like a drop-in.
Mhm.
You go
Yeah.
like a drop-in, and then you're
Like
sitting on the
open
side
mouth.
observing
yeah,
them.
Yeah, observing.
All right,
yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah. As soon as the head coach of the academy is good with this idea, yeah. So I like my kids to go to different academies for experience. So yeah, after we went there, if a kid did it everything great, did our game plan, that's great. We're just gonna sharp this technique. If that didn't work out, then we changing something, and we're changing and adjusting the technique, and then trying to do it again. So that's how I work with the kids.
Okay. And you have pretty big success with that, right?
On my way, slowly. Yeah, I have my student Shihab. He is 21 years old. Recently, he became number one in the official white belt AGP World Rankings. So, regardless of the weight class,
He's training only like 5 months or something, right?
No, it was before when he used to train with me, like around 4 months. After 4 months of training with me, he won different competition like AGP Swiss,
Okay.
AGP Switzerland, AGP Montenegro, AGP Czech Republic, and then
Oh, you went to Czech Republic?
yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah. So he got 3 golds after 4 months, and then 1 silver in Jordan. So in all the competitions, he was in finals. So, but my student Shihab, that I'm talking about, he's very different. You know, he has a very strong mentality. He's very disciplined. He trains with me like 2 times a day.
Really?
Yeah, like if he doesn't train with me twice a day, he trains with me once a day, but no days off at all. And like there is an interesting story during the Ramadan. Like we fast together, yeah. And then it was like around 3 a.m. in the morning, and I was at my home, and then I'm receiving a call from somebody, you know, and I'm very sleepy. I'm looking, and it's Shihab calling me. I'm answering the phone, and he's saying like, "What are you up to?" I'm saying, "I'm sleeping. It's 3 a.m. in the morning." He said like, "Let's train." I said like, "Man, it's 3 a.m. in the morning, bro. Like I'm sleeping. I'm not gonna do that." He said like, "No, you're gonna coach me." I said like, "No, I'm not gonna do that. I want to sleep, you know." Like, "No, you're gonna coach me. I'm gonna come to you." I said okay. I dropped the phone. 10 minutes later, he's already downstairs, and he like called me. He said like, "Let's train. I'm picking you up, and we're gonna go at mine. We're gonna train. We're gonna quickly close our fast. We're gonna eat something, and you're gonna sleep over at mine." So I said, "You already came, whatever. I'm going downstairs to coach you." We trained really hard at night. I was trying to smash him as well, but like, we had a very good training actually, and we ate, and then I slept over at his. So that shows his character, you know, that his desire to be a champion. And it was like a year ago, and right now he's number one in the world in the white belt rankings. Yes, it is white belt rankings, but it's an achievement, and it's a big
of course.
achievement.
Well,
Yeah, and after,
belt is kind of representation of how long you're doing it. So
yeah,
in his category, for
yeah.
sure.
So he won another AGP in Tbilisi, in Georgia. He got silver in Turkey, in Istanbul, and we traveled together. And then he got gold in Kazakhstan, in Almaty. So right now we have like 5 golds and 2 silvers. And but he is mentally very strong. And then
Is he only training? Is he only training? Like what else he does?
No. He has. He's studying in one of the best university in UK, in London.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He also working here, and plus he's training. So like I'm one of the hardest working people I met, and he's my student, and we have one goal, and my goal is to make him even more successful, and we have big plans for the future. So we are working on it right now. So once it was just like a conversation, just small dreams, and now we already achieved what we planned to with him together, and we are on our way to achieve more. So he's one of my best students. Yes, adults.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
And well, running around the world, flying around the world, and
Globetrotting,
competing. Yeah.
yeah, it's
As a white belt already.
as a white belt, and it's so interesting, you know, like the process. I love the process, to be honest, man. Like coaching him, like guiding mentally, you know, like especially on the competitions, you have to like motivate him. You have to like between the fights, you have to tell like not to give up, to win the gold. Tell him what is our why, you know, like, and like after winning, it's the best feeling for me, because like when my students are winning, it's like the feeling of it, like it's just much better when you are winning, to be honest. You know, when your students are winning, it's like it's different, brother. And when your students are competing as well, it's also like much more stress for me, you know, like even though I'm gonna compete at the World Championship, when my students are competing at the local or small international tournaments, I have much more like stress, you know, just because like I want them to win so much, like I support them, and it's for me as a coach, as a sensei, it's much more stressful. But after that, it's just feels
The reward's better.
also reward is like, to be honest, like better, because you being as a coach, you have a two ways. There is not all like something in the middle. You either focus on coaching or onto competing yourself. It's a very, very rarely when somebody is a great coach and a great competitor. You always have to choose. It's either your students or you. So for me, what is called? For me, it's more important my student. My priority
yeah.
is my students, not me. Yeah. So you have to choose. So
But you still compete and doing pretty well as well.
I'm still competing, but in general, I'm always focusing on my students. It's very important for me.
All right. So, DR, let's talk about your cheat code for life.
Yeah.
There was many. You mentioned you can tell me how it started, but basically just to outline it, you get what you want. To summarize it, in a many instances, on a many occasions, you put your mind into something, and sometimes, like the school in Switzerland,
Yeah.
it was so far away and so abstract,
Yeah.
and it still manifested itself into exactly what you wanted out of it.
Yeah.
So how does this started, and give some examples of basically
That's
what
so
is going
interesting
on.
about my studies in Switzerland. That's so interesting because, like, when I was a kid, my dad used to spend a lot of times in Switzerland and Austria. He loves Alps, so when like the picture of Switzerland for me when I was a kid was something like unique, prestige, and something different from other countries. So I always wanted when I was a kid to live in Switzerland, you know. And then back in the days, I moved here to Dubai to study, and then my friend
A little bit opposite of Switzerland.
yeah, a little bit opposite of Switzerland. And then my good friend of mine traveled to Switzerland, and he just called me one day and told me like, do you want to transfer to Switzerland? I just transferred, and it's amazing and it's beautiful. It's a good business school. I said like, why not? I will talk to my dad. And then my dad told me like, if you can graduate 1 year earlier than in UAE, like I will allow you, and you can go there to study in Switzerland. So I had a conversation with myself, like I thought about that, and I make a quick decision to transfer to Switzerland. So I studied there and I graduated from there successfully. And then when I came back to Kazakhstan, I was like cleaning my room, and you know the movie The Secret, like
Yes.
yeah, the movie
Secret.
about the secret.
It's a book as well, right?
Huh?
Book as well.
It's book as well.
Book as well.
It's a movie about law of attraction. So when I was a kid, I had strong ambitions, yeah, and I have a strong ambitions right now as well. But like in this book, you have to write the things you want to happen in your life. So I was just randomly writing what I wanted to a kid. Some of the goals was funny, some of them was really like strong, and I was starting reading. Like I found the book when I came back to Kazakhstan, and I started to reading what I wrote, and it was so interesting, right? What you dreamed when you was a kid.
And how old were you roughly?
I was in the second grade, I remember.
Second, so like 7 years old, 6, 7 years old.
I was like 8 years old.
8 years old.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was 8 years old, and I started reading. I started reading about my family, about like my success in sport, and then I was reading about my university, and then I couldn't believe that I wrote the name of my university that I graduated from, and at that time when I was in the second grade, it was not existent. So I wrote the name of my university, Swiss School of Higher Education. Yeah.
Swiss School of Higher Education.
I wrote in the book Swiss University of Higher Education. I just like, because you have to write in the book something that you want, but as if it happened already. So I wrote there, like, I'm grateful that I studied and graduated from Swiss University of Higher School, something like that. So I was reading that and I couldn't believe, and I was like, I couldn't believe so much. So I just went to like take my diploma and to read the name of my university one more time.
Just in case.
Just in case, you know. And I read the name and I was like, damn, like how you can once in your life just write it somewhere and believe in that it's already happened, and write it down, close it, and like after 10 years, you can actually graduate it from there. That's absolutely insane and blows my mind.
And the school wasn't even existing then.
It wasn't existing. Like out of the blue, I created this name when I was a kid. This blows my mind. So like your subconscious mind is shaping you. You know, like your brain has 100 billion neurons, and this is more than the stars in the Milky Way. How insane is that? You know, like I knew that fact, but then when I read what I wrote, like I was even much more confident in this fact that you can achieve anything if you really strongly believe and you really want it. Like you can do that. Yeah, so that's very interesting.
And there's only one.
Yeah.
So what were the others?
The others, that was the most precise thing that happened in me, with me, you know. And the other thing, I always wanted to be. We talked about this with you before, yeah, about the people I met. Like for example, I met randomly in Kazakhstan Roy Jones. Yeah,
like this is
yeah,
in Kazakhstan,
also,
right?
Yeah, in Kazakhstan. How come Roy Jones in Kazakhstan? Like I was just after I graduated, I was playing football with my friends, and then I was on a football pitch, and then my dad calls me rarely, kinda, and he called me. I received a call from him, and he said hey, what are you up to? I said I'm just playing football with my friends. He said I'm here. Roy Jones is waiting for you. I was like, what? Can you repeat? He said Roy Jones is waiting for you right now. Come, I give you 5 minutes. I was like, are you seriously? I have to go home, change, dress up, and come to you. It will take 1 hour. He said no, just come quickly here. I was like, okay, I finished the game. I came to my house quickly. I went there where Roy was there. And actually, Roy Jones was waiting for me there. So my dad organized this because Roy Jones came to his friend, to my dad. He was a guest for my dad's friend.
Dad's friend,
yeah. So my dad knows that I love sport a lot and how I love meeting new people. And they were sitting in a hotel, and Roy was just there, sitting and waiting for me. And then I came there, and man, Roy is so humble. He came, he started.
Can you quickly just introduce who is Roy Jones?
Yeah, Roy Jones is it's a professional boxer who's very influential back in the days. He's one of the greatest of all time. So yeah, and I knew him. I watched a lot of his fights when I was a kid. So Roy was there, and it was it was not just like a picture with him. Like he said for me, come here, let's have a coffee together and talk about like sport and stuff. And like we sat down, and it was like upcoming fight between McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov. And we talked about that, we talked about that, about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He knows about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We talked about box, about Kazakhstan, and it like always whenever I meet these people, the greatest, like the amazing athletes, they always like so down to earth and so humble. Yeah. And
what was he doing in Kazakhstan?
Because my father's friend is hosting a professional boxing tournaments. So he was a special guest.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Like so random, right?
So random. Like I didn't know about that,
You didn't even know that there is the boxing event happening, yeah?
Yeah. Like it was so like random, and I met him, and also I met speaking about humble and greatest athletes. I met Jose Aldo Jr. Yeah, he was like 10 years undefeated as a UFC champion, and one of the legendary UFC fighters. And I had a training with him in Switzerland at the gym I was telling to you.
Really?
Yeah, at Wendell's Cardoso gym, Tone Up CrossFit and Fight, it's called. And he just texted me. He said like, I invite you to come here to train with Jose Aldo. And I was like, I was so shocked as well. Like how come Jose Aldo is in Switzerland? Like I understand if he would be somewhere in US, like Brazil, but like that when I was studying in like my university. And I came there, and man, this guy also like so humble. Like when I came to him, he said like, great to meet you. Like he was doing like this, like showing so much respect. Like the techniques he was showing was so like efficient, so amazing. And then I loved training with him, and then after we talked a bit.
And like, what did you train? Like BJJ or?
Yeah, it was like grappling seminar.
Grappling, okay.
Yeah, it was grappling seminar. It was a...
So he was like running a seminar there?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then it's amazing how I met him there, and it was also very unexpected. Yeah, so all of this, and then I met Dmitry Bivol, for example.
I don't know.
Bivol, it's the guy who recently beat Canelo.
Okay.
Canelo is also the boxer. Also, like I met him. It was by accident as well in Abu Dhabi. We came to his house before his fight with Ramirez. This guy just came downstairs, and I was like, "Hey guys, how are you?" He came like, cause I came with the people Bivol's coach knows, So we came to his house, and he said like, we came to support him, to cheer him up before the fight, like just a couple days ago, before. And then we came there. He said like, hey guys, thank you so much for all your support, for coming here and to cheering me up. I appreciate that. Let's take a picture together. Let's talk and all of that. Like this guy just beat Canelo, and he's becoming a superstar. And this guy is just like so down to earth. And like all of these athletes that I met there, extremely down to earth. Even like Dubai is a place where you meet a lot of like successful people and millionaires, billionaires, yeah. And I met some billionaires in Kazakhstan and in UAE, and when they talk to you, they're extremely humble. Like all of the like, you will not like, even like when you meet them in life, you will think that they're billionaires. Like the way they talk with you, the way they show respect. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And all, like what I see right now, all the people that achieved something in life, in sport, in business, or in other fields, the most successful people are the humblest. Yeah, so this is an example, this is the beauty of this. So you have to be humble, like.
And the question is, what was first, right? Did they get where they are thanks to being humble, or did the fact that they got there make them humble? Or
that's interesting. I think that the people who I met was humble before as well. It's just like the type of
I mean,
person they
there's
are.
no answer to this, right?
Yeah,
like
there's no-
everybody can have a different story. Of,
Yeah, but I believe if a person is like this humble, like being very successful, like most probably they used to be humble as well. Before.
you know what they say, that money will not destroy your character; it will amplify your character.
Yeah, like
Yeah, it will just zoom in into anything what is already there.
yeah,
So if somebody who is an asshole will get a lot of money, then they will be even bigger asshole. Right?
yeah. You know, I agree. I completely agree with you because they say it like this. Like for example, if there is a person and who like recently started very rich, yeah, money doesn't change you. Money just show your real face.
Yes.
And if a person really changes when he starts earning a lot of money, and his behavior, his attitude is not good, that means the person was like that before. He was just hiding that, and the money like opened it up.
Yeah.
So money never changes you. It's just like, yeah, it just shows the real face of the person.
Yeah.
So I believe, especially with these people who are like very successful and very humble, I strongly believe that they used to be successful, humble before as well.
And especially when it's in,
And it's not easy.
yeah, like, just to get there, it's not easy, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially when it's in athletic field, or even might be in business, but like, okay, some people inherit money, some people inherit family wealth, whatever. But the people who got there themselves, like they value all that hard work and everything that was put into it. Like for example, Conor McGregor, right? Well, I wouldn't call him 100% humble because of all the things that he did. However, that was a show for the show, right?
Yeah.
Like all the trash talking and all that, like it was to attract attention and all that.
Yeah.
So overall, I don't know, but many people I've seen the documentary about him, and also many people who are posting on social media actually meeting him in person. They say he's just a
The
normal
nicest guy,
normal nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that as well. About
And
him.
he came from, let's say, nothing.
Yeah,
you know,
he
like
used to be a plumber. Yeah.
yeah, he was like he was just driven.
Yeah.
He was a very normal, very, let's say, average.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have any family wealth, but he was very motivated, very driven,
Yeah.
extremely disciplined.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when he worked through that, well,
yeah, it's like it's also like this. It says like it's never gonna happen if you want to be somebody or you want this to happen. You have to be it already, like subconsciously. Like you have to think that you're a champion, for example, already, or you have to feel that you're already a millionaire, a billionaire. Like you have to feel that deeply inside, even though you are not. But you have to feel it. It helps me a lot with the competitions, for example, when I go. Like, I feel that I'm already a champion, that I already achieved it, that I already won this competition. So it really helps a lot. You have to be who you want to be inside, so it can happen. You should not want to be a champion or to be a successful. You have to already feel to be inside a successful person.
and do you think you can learn that? Learn that mindset?
Yeah, I think anyone can achieve that. It's like depends on how much you really want it, Like if you really want it, you will try in ways to become who you want to be, You will find, even like I didn't know that before. Like I'm trying to read, I'm trying to watch different podcasts to find these like keys, like to become who I want to be. So I didn't know that, and I found this like trick to do, like if you really want something, if you want to be a champion, you have to feel inside that you're already a champion, that you already won, that you definitely deserve that. And yeah.
And that I understand. I mean, your opinion on if somebody is not feeling that way, but they want to feel that way. If you can learn that.
Once again.
So somebody, they kind of want to be a champion, but they have a lot of doubt. They don't feel like they are.
That's the thing I want to. The key thing is like when you want something is, the problem we people fail at most of the times is like when we want something, we doubt. Like even this 0.009% of doubt will not allow you to have it. So you have to believe in this so much that it's going to happen without absolutely no doubt. So when you don't have any doubt, it's going to happen definitely, for sure. But if you have like a tiny bit of doubt, it's not going to happen. So that's the secret of law of attraction, manifesting. Because I had situations when I strongly believed that I'm going to win this competition. Like in UAE or in Switzerland, I had the feeling, I was very confident that I'm going to win, no doubt. And I became a champion, So I didn't have much stress on the competition that day when I was competing. So this is the secret, like to don't have doubt at all. And this eventually going to happen.
And how somebody can get out of the doubt if it's there?
I don't know. It's just like you have to train your mind. You have to. It's a lot of work.
Let your uncle do a kneel belly.
Yeah. It's just like you have to train your mind. You have to like try to, as simple as it is, like as soon as the doubt comes, like to remove it and not think about this. You have to try to think that you're already a champion and a person who you want to be.
Very cool. Do you have anything you want to add? We covered a lot.
Yeah, I think it was a very nice experience for the first time. Like at the beginning, it was like a bit exciting for me, but right now I feel that I can talk more and I opened up a bit at the end. So yeah, thank you so much for invite. It was an absolute pleasure for me. A great experience. I was happy to share my thoughts, my knowledges, my opinion with you today. I hope that people who are gonna see our podcast gonna take something from our conversation, and
that's the idea.
Yeah, and gonna implement this as well, and it's gonna help them to achieve their goals. And that's the goal of the podcast, and I'm more than happy to share what is helping me to become who I want to be. So yeah,
very
cool. It was
cool.
my pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And one more thing, next time, maybe we can bring your athletes and we'll talk all together.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that could be very interesting.
I'm more than happy. I'm actually gonna bring my student Shihab, because at the moment he achieved the most out of my students.
Yeah.
And he's a competitor. He's a student who really loves to compete,
and he's fairly busy with other stuff as well, and he's still making it, still making you train at 3 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. Okay, cool. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.